So today I have two special guests. So I have Karel with me today, and then I also have those who know her by King Toni, Ruby Quinn's cousin. She's also going to be joining us. And what this video is about is the fact that um King Toni and Karel both separately had mentioned to me when they had problems sharing one of my videos. And I was going back and forth with them because they weren't able to share my videos. That when they shared my videos, the links weren't working, and even when I sent them the links, they still weren't working. And it got into more conversation about the different ways my channel has been being attacked. And I've actually even got, I could say, evidence that I'm also going to show of how my channel is being attacked. But it was Carol's idea and King Tony's idea that I should probably make a video to explain to my audience kind of what's going on. Um, so I wanted to also have them be able just to explain a little bit that they've seen so that people know that it's not just me complaining. Like I'm not just complaining that, oh, I got low subscribers. It's like there are things going on that other people are having problems with my channel as well. Um, so first I'm going to introduce Carol. And I know, Carol, you've done a video on I think it was JW Diaries, and I think you did
Yes.
another video. But I'll just let you explain to your audience. I mean, I'll let you explain to my audience just your background with the JWs and then where they can find your work or your interviews.
Um, well, I came into the Jehovah's Witness as an adult, a young adult, single mother, looking for tall, dark, and handsome. And guess who walked in? Tall, dark, and handsome JW. This is before I recognized my instincts could be trusted because my instincts were quite loud. There was no ambiguity with them. But lonely, single. And so I just fell into it. And funny enough, once I actually made the commitment, got dunked a week later, I got dunked, which really I did dodge bullets. So there's that. But by then I was mentally all in. And I was in probably for give or take around 20, 25 years. Um, and was disfellowshipped. Don't want to get into that. Um, and then still mentally in though. Planned on going back when I was good and ready. I was going to be there to help all those who have been ignored and treated badly on the fringes, right? Those who are spiritually weak and nobody wants to do anything with them. Until I started hearing things, CSA, UN membership, that sort of thing. And in a very short period of time, I woke up and I was furious. I was, all those years raised my daughter, um, although she never took to it, so that was a good thing. Um, and having been an adult prior to becoming a JW, I was familiar with the world and how it worked. I was never involved in politics. I never voted. My reasons at that time were different than, of course, at JW. And then I still have no interest for different reasons. Again, um, uh, just to keep the peace and not to play the game, really, pretty much right now. But I was always awake to that BS, even though I missed the whole JW BS. Um, so, 2020 comes around, 2021, all the lockdowns, and then the medical intervention and all of those things. I knew that was all kinds of BS. And I would go round and round with my nurse friend about it. But over time, watching XJW content and getting to know different ones, friending them on Facebook, talking to them on the phone, and different things, I got the opportunity. Interestingly enough, this person is an XJW, but he doesn't do XJW content. He lives in Spain. He's from the UK. His name is Gordon Smith Duran. And he mentioned just briefly that he had that history. He was raised as a JW. So I reached out to him and he did an interview with me because he wanted to see how a person goes from, being a JW to being a spiritual person, because he went through it, but it was a different path. Um, and so he wanted to highlight that, and then um, different ones. I got introduced to Justin XJW Diaries through Jerron, and did an interview with him, and then he did a second interview with me because he wanted to highlight once you get rid of the mental dreck, the physical improves as well. Because I don't know if you saw my before and after picture. I'm half literally the person I was. I lost 150 pounds. So
I
he
just want to
wanted,
say you'd be one of those people on those billboards where it would show like the before and after,
yeah.
and you could sell any product you want. You'd be a millionaire because I've seen the pictures. So like yeah, your method definitely. If you want to get in shape, talk to Karel. She knows what she's doing. But I
Well,
think
the thing
you're
is, I had help. It wasn't just me, except it was the gremlins in my head, the OCD and all that. But I had a doctor who is not a big proponent of traditional medicine. His is a little, off the beaten path, although he does do traditional. He doesn't rely heavily on it. But a lot of my growth, though, it came from different people. It came from Gordon. It came from Justin. It came from Elise. It and the biggest takeaway that, and I tell this to anybody who wants to do anything, we talk worse to ourselves than we do to even those people we despise. Self-talk is horrible the way we speak to ourselves. And so we need to stop that. And once you stop that, once you start telling yourself you are worthy and you can do this and you are fully capable and so on and so forth, things happen. And the brain is and the subconscious is a remarkable thing. It believes what you tell it, and if you're telling it all this negative stuff, it's going to give you that. We are our own creators, and it will give you what you're creating, and you're creating through the spells you're casting with your words. And so, I've done all that, and I'm still a huge work in progress, which we all are, and we always all will be. It never ends if we're wise. But I've come a long way considering, I started as a JW.
yeah, and I want to touch on something you said too because I think that the whole Jehovah's Wit the whole Jehovah's Witness religion is designed to do the exact opposite, I think, of what you're explaining because it wants you to not love yourself, to talk trash to yourself. They use the scripture, the good for nothing slave, and they take it literally. Like we're supposed to feel like a good for nothing slave. And even simple things like say we work really hard on a meeting part and we work so hard and put it together ourselves and we're so proud of it, but then it's like, oh, the credit goes to Jehovah. You didn't do nothing. It's only because Jehovah blessed you. So it's like they make you think that you're being selfish when you try to love yourself or want to give yourself a pat in the back, like you should be able to do things for yourself and put yourself first because how are you going to even really help others if you don't put yourself first and you're broken down? But I think that's the way the religion is designed so that you do talk to yourself like trash and that you just rely on the organization and the elders and God's spirit. So I think that like leaving witnesses is a big step to realizing like, no, you're not conceited, you're not being selfish, but you do need to love yourself and you need to look out for yourself. But just something came to mind as you were talking. Um,
Yeah. Well, and the world isn't a whole lot better because they want you broken down and dependent on them, the governments. And those, it really isn't a whole lot different. It's just a different kind of cult.
yeah, exactly.
And then, well, that's where the word culture comes from now, isn't it?
I never thought about that. It makes sense
Yeah.
because yeah, it's like a culture is a set of kind of like rules and beliefs that you should be acting a certain way. If you're part of a culture, yeah, a good one. I never even Um,
Yeah.
I'll
And
edit
that's where
this.
words come in. Words carry a lot of power. Jesus even made that very clear. You know, your words have the ability to bring life and to kill. And that's why putting letters together and creating words is called spelling. It is literally casting spells. When you speak, you are casting a spell.
Yeah, there's another one I heard like that too. Not the cast and spell one, but there's a couple of things like that where uh disease. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yes.
How dis-ease
Dis-ease.
causes
Yeah.
disease when
Yeah.
when you're just in dis-ease or depressed or whatever. But like, yeah. So now my second guess is one of my subscribers, King Toni, and some of you may know her from Ruby's channel. And so she also had some weird experiences with shadow banning and suppression of my channel. But before we get into that, again, I'm gonna ask King Toni if you can also just give my audience a brief introduction.
Sure. Yeah. I pretty much I'm 32 years old now. I would say that I was raised in the truth, even though if you want to be technical, I probably started going to meetings around the age of 8, but I was raised with the principles and the Bible principles and things like that. Like we never celebrated holidays, birthdays, nothing like that. Um, so yeah, I pretty much started waking up around the age of, I would say, my teens, like around 17, 16, 17, 18. After I graduated high school, I chose to dedicate myself to Jehovah for about 2 years. I became a regular pioneer, and that's kind of like where I would say I really woke up even more so, seeing a lot of the things that I saw within the pioneer schooling amongst other pioneers. I guess just being more involved with the adults more, and more people my age, I guess. Because as a child, I was always with people who were older, like maybe like 30, 40, 50 years older than me, you know? But being around people my age, that kind of woke me up a little bit more as well. Um, I would say that I stopped going after I got pregnant with my son. I was kicked out pregnant by my family, and also because the elders tried to force me to marry the father of my kid. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that, but I'm also not gonna stop him from being a father to the kid, and I'm not gonna treat him any type of way. And being that I said that, that's when I was disfellowshipped and kicked out. And I almost went to a shelter, and the father spoke with his mother at the time and took me in. And that's where I'm 10 years here in Brooklyn.
So wait,
That's my
I was gonna say, let me backtrack. So you mean these evil, worldly people took you in, right? Because
Yeah, right,
they
right. The
don't have
people that
any,
should
yeah, they don't have any morals, right? They're just like
right.
drug addicts, and they're out of control.
Correct. And yeah, I think that was one huge thing that really woke me up, was the fact that I had that preconception that people who weren't witnesses were evil and out to get you, and like, if you left the organization, you were gonna die, kind of thing. So when I first left, I think I was like when I first started doing things on my own, because it got to a point after 2 years of pioneering, my parents basically were like, yeah, we can't support you anymore, and we're not going to support you, so you need to support yourself. So I'm like, okay, if we can't go to higher education, we can't go to college, how am I going to support myself? Like, I need to get some type of education because I don't have any type of background. So I ended up doing a program where they taught me a trade for about 6 months, and then they put me in an internship for another 6 months. It was a total of a year, and that's where I met my partner. So in that program, I learned so much. Like, I learned that people weren't actually evil, that they were actually nice, and they were people you can get to know and have conversations and even possibly build friendships and relationships with. Um, and so that was kind of like the start. I learned how to take the train, the bus on my own. I learned how to travel on my own. I they gave you a stipend, so I learned how to have, money. I learned the value of money. Learning also, like, if you were late or if you didn't hand in an assignment, that was docking your pay, things like that. So that I would say that was like the basis of learning how to be an adult for the first time. And I would say I was 22 at the time. Yeah.
But you know you can go to college now, right? The Jehovah changed his mind.
Well, listen, that really, like, I had a meeting with the elders. I don't know, Carol, I did go to the Kingdom Hall again after many, many years of, telling people I would never ever step foot in a Kingdom Hall again. I used to get panic attacks. I used to get anxiety attacks. Um, I even had gotten a job where I found out that someone was a witness, and like I had the only panic attack, to the point where I quit the job because I was like, I'm not working with this person. Yeah. A lot of paranoia. So after that experience, I kind of like, after speaking with my cousin Ruby, and I spoke with it maybe one or two other people, like I still call her my mother-in-law, but she's just that person to me. Like, I go to her for everything. Like, ever since she took me in, she's kind of like my mom, in a sense. She took that role. And like she talked to me a lot. She helped me reason that, people, you can't live life that way in fear. You can't let that control you. You have to learn to conquer it. And then one day, my aunt, who is actually not a witness, but she was also raised, with the Bible principles of the organization, she was invited to the meeting, and she thought to invite me, and I'm like, I told her no at first. I was like, yeah, I'll never go back. And then eventually, when the day came, I said, I'm gonna have to conquer this fear, at some point. So I decided to go, and I remember going, and I just felt this peace, like, because I do still believe in God and I pray a lot. So, and I've seen him in my life, even not going to Kingdom Hall. So that's why I still believe in him. And like all that, the fear, the anxiety, and the panic completely like left my body. And I remember just sitting there and I'm like surrounded by them, and I'm like, I'm breathing, like I'm alive, like I'm doing good, I'm okay. And that was kind of like the first step to actually just stepping in the Kingdom Hall, but I knew it wasn't done there. So I had so many questions because now I'm having kids. Um, I just, with the whole pedophile thing going on, and then, Ruby's uncle is an actual pedophile, registered pedophile that lives not too far from me, and he's allowed in the Kingdom Hall and things like that. So those were some concerns that I just needed clarification amongst other things. And a lot of the answers that I got, even with the new enlightenment about now you can go to college, I brought that up to their attention as well. Like, my whole life wouldn't have been the way it went. Like, it would have never went that way had this new enlightenment came sooner. Like, and like even with the beards and the pants, like how many people have committed suicide and taken their lives because they were disfellowshipped or treated a certain way by their family. And like, what are you gonna do about that? Like, what do you have to say about that? And like all their answers were so generic. Basically like, we don't want to focus on the past, and we're going to leave that in God's hands, and no type of accountability at all. um even when it came to me and telling them, like, these were elders that knew me since I was young, so these weren't just some random elders. They know me, and they've seen what I've gone through. So yeah, that was a pretty quick and interesting conversation, but I guess I wasn't really expecting anything different. It was just something for me to overcome, I guess. And I feel better now that I had that conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, I have my thoughts on it, which I know I mentioned to you before, but I think that you needed to go through that. It's like facing your fear.
Yeah,
And I think that, I mean, this is just my opinion, but I think that like you needed to go through that. But I think that that calmness that you felt, it wasn't because that's Jehovah's house. It was because you were getting past your fear and letting go of that hatred and
100%.
moving on.
Yeah,
But then I think when you went and asked them those questions, it's like you gave them a chance. You said, okay, well, I'm gonna, let me confront you on this stuff. And you could
yeah.
tell by their answers that it's a false religion, and the
Oh
thing
no,
is,
yeah, yeah. 100%. Even then, like, they came out and were like, "Oh, well, maybe you're looking at apostate stuff." And I looked at them and I was like, "Actually, I'm not. Actually, I'm looking at your things and questioning them." A lot of changes that have come about that I don't remember learning at all. For instance, like my sibling, I asked him the question about what about the whole Adam and Eve and the trees, and like, was it one tree that was forbidden? Was it both trees? And my whole life I've always thought that both trees were forbidden. Um, but there was one specifically that said not to eat from. But then come to find out that was never the case and that was never taught. And like, I don't know how frustrating that is to be gaslighted as if I don't know what I'm talking about when it's something that I feel like I've been taught my whole life. Um, yeah. So they claim that the fruit was this fruit that, like, a magical fruit that kept them alive and they needed to eat from it in order to stay alive, when that's kind of like what I didn't get growing up as a witness. But yeah, I
well,
told them, oh, sorry, you were gonna ask a question.
oh no, I was just gonna ask something about that like um I forgot my thought now. It was something about the tree. Um
Hmm.
this is what I was gonna say. That's why they don't want you reading their old literature. Like Charles
Oh,
Russell's books is considered apostate. Books written by them is
that's
apostate
crazy. That's
because
crazy.
they know that if you look back, you're going to see how they just make things up. If you read some of those old books, it's not even the same religion. The kind of stuff that they were into, like, is not even the same religion. But
Hmm.
they just cover it up by saying, "Oh, just get rid of the books. Revise everything." They revise the Bible, right? What kind of
Yeah,
religion
they
needs to
did.
revise the Bible within like a 50-year period? Like the Bible needs to be revised like what, every century, once a century or something like that. They've revised it like five different times in like the past 30 years. So that right away is a red flag. Um,
Yeah.
but anyway, do you still sometimes pop up on Ruby's show? Because I just want to give my audience if they want to um connect with you or
Honestly,
anything, or if they
I've kind of like pulled away from the social media platform a little bit just to kind of focus on myself. Like I needed to focus on myself and I was going through some health issues and things like that. Um, but yeah, I'm thinking about passing, by and hopping on maybe once or twice. I've heard that the unrelenting political corner has been lively, and the conversations that they're having is definitely something to look into again. So I'm gonna check them out. Yeah.
Okay, so I just want to put out that plug out there that anybody that wants to follow King Tony, that is a place you can find her on Ruby's channel, and I'll put that on
Yeah.
the screen too. So now let's get into why we're having this discussion. So I came out with a video recently, and my channel's been attacked since the very beginning, but recently I put out a video titled "The Video That Will Shut Watchtower Down." And that video, as far as I'm concerned, did not disappoint. It's information that if enough Americans seen it, I
Hmm.
believe the organization would be shut down because they would have to act. It's like the Epstein list. If there was an Epstein list, no matter who's on it, they are going to have to act. Even if they want to, even if corrupt politicians want to protect those people, they're going to have to act and arrest
Hmm.
whoever. So people would be enraged, I think, if they seen what was in that video. That's why I was saying this video would shut Watchtower down. The catch
Hmm.
is if enough people see it. So I already knew that my channel is suppressed and shadow banned and YouTube messes with the views and all that stuff. So I particularly said in the video, I said, share this video, and I started sharing the link to people. I went on Facebook. I went in other platforms that I'm on, and I put it out there. I sent So I think you were the first one, King Tony, who responded back about the link. So could you just explain to my audience like what the problem was with the link that I sent you to this video?
Yeah, the link that you sent basically said something to the effect where it's not available to be watched. I couldn't watch it. It wouldn't even bring me into the YouTube location. It just completely stopped me. Yeah.
And I think you also said too that you tried sharing it too to see if other people could open it.
Correct. I did share it to a few other people and they did report the same thing that it wasn't allowing them to see even who it came from or anything. Yeah.
So when you first sent me that, because you're the first person that responded back, the first thing I did was I thought, oh, did they remove it already? Because I thought maybe YouTube deleted the video, right? So powerful that Watchtowers got their CIA agents to delete it. So what was
Yeah.
really strange is that when I went to my channel, it was there. I'm like, okay, it's not deleted because when it comes up a video's unavailable, usually that means the video was removed. So that's what I
Correct.
thought. But it
Right.
was still there. So I played
Right.
it and it was still working. So I think I sent it to you again. I said, we'll try it again. And I think I sent, and it still didn't work.
And it still
So,
didn't work.
so then, so you couldn't get the link. So then I think I mentioned, well, can you just find my channel and see if you could see it on my channel? Now I knew it was on my end, but I'm like, well, if the link's not working, maybe other people can't even see it. So then what happened when you went to try to find my channel?
So when I went back to YouTube to find your channel, I could not find your channel. And I was looking for, I would say about maybe like 10 minutes roughly. I couldn't even like search it. So then that's when I kind of like I think I had asked you what was the name of your channel again, just to make sure. And um yeah, it was kind of giving me the runaround. Like until finally after a few minutes or so, it finally showed your page. But then when I saw I was unsubscribed, which was weird because I knew for sure that I was subscribed to you. But it kind of made sense because I usually see your videos as soon as you post them, and I always get an alert, a notification. And I hadn't, from like memory, I hadn't been receiving those notifications. So it kind of made sense, but I'm like, how would that happen? Like, how would I be unsubscribed if I didn't do it myself? Um, so yeah.
So what's interesting about that is a couple of things. So one, every person who I know, like in real life, like even if I haven't met them in person, but we've connected online, every person who I know at some point has been unsubscribed to my channel. So it makes me wonder, like,
Except me.
oh,
So
oh,
far, so
oh,
good.
okay. So well, just make sure you keep checking because you may be at some point.
Now it might be me.
Yeah, right.
But another thing too. So I stopped my channel last year, and I came back for season two like recently, like this year. And there are
Hmm.
people who didn't even know I came back because they were unsubscribed and never got the notification.
Wow.
So just recently, like I got a comment from I think her name is Christy Crab, and she was like, I didn't even know like you were posting videos. She's like, I gotta go catch up on all this content because she thought
Wow.
I was done. And then I've had people from back in Connecticut and Massachusetts, where I'm originally from, and they thought I stopped doing videos too. They're like, "Oh, I thought your channel was gone," because they had the same problem you had. They were subscribed and they couldn't find my channel. So
Hmm.
so somebody who I know, they're not an XJW, they're just somebody who I grew up with in school.
Hmm.
They thought I deleted all my content. They're like, "Oh, I thought you deleted them." No, I didn't delete it. I'm still posting videos. They're like, "Huh?" And they said, well, "Where's your channel at?" So I had to
Yeah,
resend
you
it to them.
see?
Yeah, because they couldn't even
Right.
find it.
Yep.
So it's a system where it's unsubscribing people and then it's also blocking them from searches. It's almost like my channel doesn't exist at certain
Right.
times where you can't find it in the searches, you're unsubscribed. So I just want to say what King Tony, she just verifying what I've been saying for 2 years, and I've had multiple people tell me the same thing about being unsubscribed. And then
Yeah.
there's something else you said about was it the link maybe?
That I tried sharing the video myself from the website and it was still showing as not like popping up with your name and info.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
that's even crazier. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah. I tried that too. Didn't work.
Like I tried sharing that video from the actual when I once I found it and everything, and it was not working.
Yep.
yeah. And that brings me into you, Carol, because now could you just explain from your end, like what did you experience with the same particular video?
My situation was a little different because I had been still subscribed. I got the notification. So I think, got the notification before you sent it to me in Messenger. But I thought, oh, I'll just go from Messenger and watch it. And it didn't work. And I'm like, huh, well, let me
Mhm.
go to YouTube and it worked fine. So I'm like, that link doesn't work. So I let you know. I'm like, well, maybe if I send a link from the video, that will work. Maybe they're just blocking
Right.
you from being able to share your content. That didn't work. But at least I had been notified. I knew that video was there and I would have watched it. But yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, and another thing too, so I think it's all connected. So sometimes when I post a new video, I'll go on my channel and it's not there. And I'm like, where is it? I just posted it. And then I go into my YouTube studio, it's there. I posted it, it's public, and it's just not there. Then like maybe like 5 minutes later, then it pops up. And I'm wondering,
Mm,
like, I wonder what that is. Like, is that some sort of shadow banning?
yeah.
And then another thing weird is that so I've been like kind of experimenting, and then I'll search the video I just posted. So I'll search it, it will come up, and it'll say no views. And at that point, when I've already posted it for a while, it may be like at 500 views. But then when I search it, it says no views, like nobody's watching it. I'm like, but when I go on my channel, it's saying 500 views. When I search it, no views. Now, the reason that's a problem is because YouTube works on algorithms. So if YouTube is showing nobody's watching this video, they're going to think nobody's interested. Even my
Correct.
subscribers aren't interested. Nobody's watching this video. So nobody's is not going to push it out. So
Wow.
these weird things are just like it's suppressing my channel big time. And I think it was you, King Tony, who might have mentioned to me that like they're messing with my money too, because like I have a contract with YouTube. My stuff is monetized. So I agree that you can run your ads on my channel and I'm supposed to get paid. So it's not a lot of money. So when they're manipulating the views, that's also less money than I'm getting. So I
Correct.
should be getting a lot more money from YouTube than I'm actually getting because the views are being manipulated. Um,
Hmm.
so when I post the videos and it's not even there on my own page, like it takes sometimes 5 minutes for it to even pop up. I almost feel like, and I'm kind of just speculating, but I feel like if somehow they're taking my channel and dividing it into like different parts of the internet, because as like Carol said, she did get the notification and but still couldn't share the link. And then there's somebody from Australia I know said the link opened. And I'm thinking, well, why did it open? Like it clearly, and both of you were showing me screenshots that it was saying
Yeah.
not available. So there were some people who it did actually work. And I'm thinking, like, is there like some sort of like split somehow? Like, is it like, I mean, I can't even try to explain exactly what I'm trying to get at, but I feel that like it's kind of being divided. It's like on one hand, I got 500 views, but then YouTube saying I have no views. And then half my people are not subscribed, and some are still subscribed. Some are getting it's like it's being divided somehow into all these little
Hmm.
parts. And I feel like the grand total of views is what's being manipulated. Like I don't know how they're doing it. And I don't think it's Watchtower. I mean, I'm sorry, I do think it's Watchtower. I don't think it's YouTube. I think that someone is hacking into their system and knows what they're doing and they have power. I don't think, I mean, it could be YouTube too or somebody in the inside, but
I
I
mean,
think
you don't think anyone can pay YouTube off to do those things?
Yeah,
well,
I do.
that's
I think
probably the
that's
easiest way. That makes more sense. See, sometimes I
Why do you think
overthink
they're
things.
asking for more money?
Yeah.
right.
And then
Everything.
another thing I want to address is a couple of people been complaining, and rightfully so, but they've been saying that when they watch my videos, that there's ads like every 2 or 3 minutes.
I
And
did notice that. Yes, a
so
lot more. Yep.
So just to break it down for those who don't have YouTube channels, this is the way that it works. So when your channel is monetized, they basically give you a choice how many commercial breaks you want to add. So YouTube may play a commercial like before the video starts, and they may play one after it ends, but then you have an option. It says, do you want to place commercials mid-row? And then if you click yes, you pick how many. So since I've had my channel monetized, I've always done the same thing. I will only put one commercial break in the exact middle of the video. So if I have a video that's 2 hours long, I specifically will put it right at the hour mark because I never want to annoy my subscribers. And the money that I get paid is very little. So like I'm not doing it for the money. It's more so like I know that if my channel's monetized, it's supposed to be pushed out because advertisers are paying to have their ads out. So YouTube is supposed to push it out more. So I'm mainly monetizing it so that it gets my videos get pushed out. And then the money that they do give me, like, hey, I'll take it because, like, hey, I can pay my phone bill with it. I mean, it's more than Watchtower ever paid me. Watchtower drained me for every penny and sucked out my energy with zero pay. You know, all the free labor on the construction sites and all that. So the money they're paying me is a hell of a lot more than Watchtower paid me. So like, I'll take it,
Mhm.
but it's not that important. But anyway, so I know for a fact they only add one break in the middle, only one commercial. So I don't know what's going on, but if people keep complaining about it, I'm going to just demonetize my channel because I'm not doing it for the money. And I don't, and the thing is, I have such long videos that if people are getting breaks every 3 minutes, they may not watch the whole thing. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But that's just another way that my channel is being attacked. So and with all the ads that people are saying that they're running, then I should be getting more views and stuff like that. But it's like so it's that's inconsistent too. Um Now, another thing that I've had happen is that I've actually had videos where the views will go down. So the first time this happened was the very first time I did a tough subject. I covered the subliminal messages on the back of the songbook. That's the first time it happened. So the video got up to like 4,500 views, and then the view stopped in its tracks. Like it stopped. Not a single more view, not a single more comment. It's like it was frozen in time. So I'm like, well,
Mm.
that's weird that it just stops just like that. It was growing kind of quickly. So it got up to those views within its first 24 hours. So it was still growing. And for it to just stop, I thought that's kind of strange. Like, why is it frozen? So then the next day I looked at it, it was 4,200 views. And I'm like, it was 4,500. So then it's like, how do I lose 300 views? It doesn't make any sense. And then like I've had comments frozen too, where like, so I've had a situation where I've had 35 comments. I remember the number when this happened. 35 comments, and I kept checking to see, oh, did anybody new watch the video? And when I click on newest comments, I would see new comments, but it still say 35 comments. I'm like, well, how is that possible? So, and it kept happening. I kept getting more and more comments, and it stayed at 35. So then I said, let me look at the comments. And what they were doing was they were deleting the older comments. So it was like they capped me out at 35 comments, and as more people are commenting, they're disappearing people's comments.
Mm.
And it's like crazy stuff like that. And then I've been accused too. Like sometimes people will say, "Why are you deleting comments?" I'm like, "I didn't delete your comment. I'm not doing it."
Okay.
I will delete troublemakers. I made that clear. If somebody's deliberately starting trouble, you're out of here. Like I just don't got time for it. Um, but I don't even delete people that they don't like me or disagree with me. I only delete when somebody's deliberately starting trouble. So so these are all things too that just like it affects the algorithms too because YouTube works on even how many people are commenting on the video. If a lot of people are commenting, YouTube will push that video out more.
Yeah, is there actually a cap to how many people can comment? Because I've noticed also that there's times where I can't even comment, like I'm not allowed. So I thought I was blocked from commenting, which I end up finding out that I'm not, because then I'm able to comment, and sometimes it's like a back and forth with that. So I don't know.
Yeah, there's definitely not a max because I mean some of these big channels they got like 10,000 comments on it. So
Yeah.
but I've had that same thing happen where like I've given up commenting on people's pages. Like I would sometimes try to support other channels. I'd make a comment, and when I go back, the comment's not there. That's happened so many times. I kind of
Yeah.
said, I'm not wasting my time anymore doing it. But I think certain channels are flagged, and I think that's there to just manipulate the number of comments. So that
Wow.
so a video doesn't get popularity. I'm sorry, I have so much to say. Kara, did you want to add anything else before we go on to the next part?
No, it's real consistent. It doesn't really matter whether it's your content, another YouTuber, or just another outspoken individual. Once they hit pay dirt, once they hit truth, all the powers that be pounce and try to shut it down,
Yeah.
all the way up to and including unaliving if necessary.
Mm.
That's what they do. It's what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of have a reverse way of thinking about things where channels that are small, that are putting out good content, I give them more credibility than the huge channels because I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, they're speaking truth. Look at the way they're being attacked. And there's one channel that I want to give a shout out to. Let me pull this up real quick. I don't want to forget this channel because I think he's an XJW too, but he's going into some really deep areas. So his channel is NYO News Official. So I believe he's from New York, and he put out some really interesting videos. And I talked about these weird purple street lights, which I won't get into in this video, but he's done a full breakdown on his channel, like explaining way deeper than I know about those purple lights. I know they're suspicious, but he does a good breakdown on that. And he also talked about how in his Kingdom Hall in California, they had these Masonic pillars that they would put up on stage for the meeting, then take them down after. I thought that was pretty interesting. But I'm gonna put
What's
up
the name of the channel again?
it's NYO News Official. So the
Yeah.
first four letters are capital letters, capital NYON, and then it's News Official. But I'll put the link to his channel. But he's another one you can tell that like he's got some deep stuff, and his channel's being suppressed. And one thing I think some of my subscribers will like about him is that um, I admit I don't believe in the Bible anymore. I think there's some good information in it. I think some of it is true, but I'm not a Bible believer. He seems to still be a Bible believer, so I think that balance is good because I do want to respect my subscribers that do believe in the Bible. So he's somebody who he's into the conspiracy stuff, but he still has faith in the Bible. For those um that want to go that route. So the next thing that I want to touch on, and I'm going to screen share this with you because it's so crazy. It's my newest attack. So the other day, and so let me first say I did a video with this guy named John that knows a lot about the Menlo Park scandal, and he was supposed to answer a couple of questions that my subscribers had for him, really dark stuff. So we recorded this video, and after as we were halfway through the video, it wasn't recording. It just wasn't recording. So we had to start over. It was kind of annoying because it's like we already did like an hour. We're in the middle of the video. I'm like, hey, wait a minute, Zoom's not even recording it. So we had to start
Oh,
over. Then we started the whole video over, and his connection kept messing up. Like he didn't know it on his end, but every time he'd speak, it just kept like static and you couldn't hear a word he was saying. So then I said, you know what? Let's shut our cameras off because maybe that will, make the bandwidth not so powerful. And it still kept messing up. So anyway,
mhm.
the so
I can answer it all. Just let me know if I don't cover something
okay.
if I forget. But I think I can cover it all. How deep do you want to go in the rabbit hole?
Well, why don't
I
we start
mean,
off with what is the gate programming?
that's
Yeah.
okay. Anything that has the word gate in it, um, anything that has the word gate in it, that's automatically controlled by the CIA. Project Stargate, the Gateway tapes, Gate Kids, Gifted and Talented Education. They're all um and if you want to know how that works, then you can watch the movie Paycheck with Ben Affleck. There's one scene where they give him this fluid and everything and that's what a lot of the gate kids were doing. They were having your mind enhanced while you were doing certain exercises, but then you were forgetting because I don't even remember what grade that was. I don't even remember I can't remember who my best friend was in school. And these are things that I should know. Um, but those were liquid thrown into this program, and they were going to test this because I don't know, I have the MK Ultra papers. There'll be a folder there, and
Hey, John,
the gate kids and it.
hold on. Why don't we both shut our videos off because the interference is so bad that like you're choppy and then the words are keep cutting out. Um, I then got this notification, and this was before I actually was gonna upload that other video, but then I got this notification when I went onto YouTube, and it basically flagged my channel and it says that I'm under 18 years old and my channel settings have been changed. Um, because the safeguard effect that I'm under 18 years old. Now, let me just explain how crazy this is. Well, first of all, you can take a look at any video on my channel. I'm obviously not under 18 years old. That's the first thing, just using common sense. Second, my content is so deep and I get probably more to the conspiracy stuff than I want to. There's nothing about my channel that would give any indication that that I'm under 18. And then every time for those who are content creators, you know that when you post a video, you have to check off that if the video is not for kids. And every video I do, I always put it's not for kids. None of my content is for kids. But here's where it gets really crazy why I know this is an attack. So I'm monetized on YouTube. YouTube has all my information. They got my social security number, right? They send me a 1099. Like some places have some accounts have two-step authentication where you sign in and it wants to send you a text to your phone to make sure it's really you. Not only do they
Yes.
do that, well YouTube has an in-person two-step authentication. They don't even let you monetize until they send a letter to your house, your residence, with a code on it. So you got to get the thing in the mail, and then you got to type in information. So that's how strict they are with verifying who you are. So I'm not hiding. I use my full name, right? I tell people where I'm from. They have my social security number. They send me tax documents. They have my address, or at least where I was at that point. So the thing is, they already have all my documents to know I'm not 18 years old. So what is this about? But this is what it's about because now that my channel is flagged of I'm under 18 years old, apparently YouTube is not going to push my channel out to an adult audience. They're going to push it out to children.
Oh,
And now, how many children are even interested in watching my videos anyway? And I don't want children watching my videos, but
no.
No.
I want parents to watch. I want parents to watch my channel so they can keep their children away from this organization. But none of my content is for children. So when I was reading up this stuff, they say that like I have to like other people who had this problem, like I can request an appeal and then I got to send them like my government documents to prove that I'm 18. But what I'm saying is they already have that. That's what I'm saying. They
Yeah.
already have that information. So I did still send YouTube a message anyway about it. Like I contacted their support team and I basically told them the same thing I'm saying here. Like I'm obviously not under 18. You already have my tax information. You already verified who I am. I get a 1099 from YouTube because they pay me money. So um I think that this also has to do one with the recent content that I've put out, like that video, the video will shut Watchtower down, right? Because a sure way to kind of stop that video from spreading is the what YouTube's only going to recommend it for children. So it's kind of crazy. Um,
Mhm.
but then I think another reason for this is that and you know what, let me show you because I took a screenshot. So I never knew what this hype thing was. This is not something that I did. It's not a setting that I put on my channel. I don't know where it came from. But this video that I did, powerful realization of governing body pushing vex. So at this point, I had 468 views in 11 hours, and then 5.3 thousand hype points. Now I don't know what hype points are, and I can't say that a hype point is the same equivalent as one view. But whatever this is, I didn't do it. It's a good thing because it's not, and this is before I got attacked with my channel's under 18. So
Mhm.
I thought, well, that's interesting because somebody is giving me all these hype points. People are hyping and voting for my video. I didn't even know what the system was. And I thought, well, that's kind of inconsistent because if I only have 468 views and nobody's watching it, where the hell did 5,000.3 hype points come from?
Yeah.
So then when I started asking people about it, I think I sent both of you messages on it that like all of my supporters never even heard of hype points, so they're not even the ones that are hyping my video. So I think there's other people from other countries and stuff that are doing it, but I didn't even know that was even an option. But so I thought, well, okay, what I'm seeing is an inconsistency because if I have such low views and subscribers, then why am I getting all these hype points? And again, I didn't do anything to set this up. I'm not even sure why it's there. So shortly after this is when I now being attacked with my channels under 18. Um
Mm.
so you see what I'm saying? How it all kind of goes together.
Have you noticed if any of your other videos have that on there as well, or is it just this video?
So the only other video that now has it is the video that I did recently where I interviewed an XJW. That has it.
Mm.
So whatever this thing is, I think it's going to show up on all my videos now that I post from this
Okay.
point. Um, but now that it's saying I'm under 18, it's like, one step forward, three steps backward type of a thing because I'm not
Right.
under 18. So again, it's just and again, YouTube knows that because again, my stuff is monetized. So I know that they already know that's the thing. So there's no
Were they able to
excuse.
give you an answer as to why this happened?
I didn't get a reply back, so I'm waiting to hear back from them to try to fix it. Um, so another thing is so I wanted to show this. So this is my analytics page,
Mm-hmm.
and again, I know that my views are manipulated anyway, as far as the amount of people watching my channel. So I can't say how accurate this part is, but I feel like it probably is somewhat accurate. So it shows where it says age and gender, and you look down, it says 13 to 17 years old, 0%, right? So it's making it clear no children are watching my videos.
Mm-hmm.
18 to 24, 0%, right? Then 25 to 34, 7%. 35 to 44, 13%. And the biggest percent is 45 to 54, which is kind of like my age group. So that probably sounds accurate to me because I think a lot of the people that watch my channel are probably around that age or like, up there in wisdom like that. So like it kind of makes sense, but I just want to show this that if you can see, no children are watching my channel. So again, what would be the purpose of them to flag my channel? Oh, he's under
So
18
it could
years
be a
old.
tactic that they're using because the fact that people under the age of 24, I would even say 24 because it says 18 to 24,
Yeah.
are not watching. And if they don't want people watching your video, and then yeah, that's so interesting.
Yeah, so that's a good point because if they now push my channel to that age group, who's going to watch it?
Yeah,
Nobody.
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 I think they're just trying whatever they can to get you to finally throw your hands up and
Mm,
give up.
Right.
They're flinging it on the wall and seeing what sticks.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
And who knows, maybe they didn't even think you would notice that.
Yeah.
And of course you did. So
Yeah, well, the thing is, I mentioned the analytics thing because I spoke to somebody who has a channel. Well, I won't mention the name. I don't know if they want me to mention the name, but they told me I should check out the analytics because it may show some discrepancies about something. Is why I thought that. So
yeah.
I then decided, not for that reason, but I decided to check it when I got flagged for being under 18. So then I said, you know what? Let me go check out the analytics, like that person said, and that's exposing there are no children watching my channel, so it makes no sense. But
Mm-hmm.
one reason why I'm not going to give up is because this is what I've said before on my channel. So I looked at the analytics just to show this because regardless of the numbers, and again, I've seen my view count go down. I've seen every time I post a video, by the way, my subscribers go down a little bit and then it goes up, then it goes down. So they're always manipulating things. But this shows the views of the different countries watching my channel. So I've said before that there's people who, and I think it's more than what this is showing because I do get emails a lot from people from other countries that send me stuff. In fact, one of the most interesting people who contacted me was somebody who lived near the Denmark Assembly Hall. He emailed
Mm.
me. He went there, and I'll put the photos on the screen. He sent me actual pictures of the Denmark Assembly Hall from his cell phone, not like online. And he was walking around there in person and he was saying it was vandalized. But like, I'm just saying that's the type of people that I get. I get people from other parts of the world that email me all the time. So I don't even understand how these people in other countries, how have they even felt my channel based on my low subscribers and my views? Of course,
Well, I
this
think
is
other countries have their own laws. And
Yeah.
I think that it plays into, well, like your friend in Australia actually was able to open that link
yeah,
because the laws are different there. And I think that plays a big role.
interesting. Yeah, so maybe like if they are paying YouTube off, they're not able to have that same pull in other countries, whoever's behind it, because Watchtower is
Right.
an American corporation. So that would make sense that they could have they could more suppress American content than some of these other countries.
Well, like Facebook, people in other countries can lock their profile down. You see nothing. You can't do that in the US. So,
Oh wow. That's interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? On that same subject, when I hear about this constant war against TikTok, and I just want to say, in my opinion, the war against TikTok is very simple. TikTok is not American based, and the corrupt politicians in America can't control it. That's why they've demonized it. They've demonized it because they know that like this kind of stuff they pull with me, it doesn't work on platforms like TikTok. So I think that's why there's always been this war about we got to ban TikTok, and they always say, oh, because the Chinese government it can spy on us. No, it's the American government that's spying and screwing with
Correct.
people's channels. They're the ones doing it, not the Chinese. But
Yeah.
that's their excuse. We have to ban it because of the Chinese government. No, I'm not worried about them. I'm more worried about honestly the government here, to be honest. Um,
I
but
mean, even the organization in other countries is being attacked, and they're winning a lot of the cases. Like what country was it that was the organization was banned or considered non-religious, or they
uh,
lost their.
I know Russia was the main one. I think the first one
Well, they were
to do
banned
that.
in Russia. It's Norway where they lost their legal registration.
So
Um,
yeah.
yeah, and they have been winning some cases here and there in other countries. I watched, and I can't remember. It might have been John Leger, XJW analyzer,
Hmm.
who did the reason why they're able to win, why they're winning. And the thing is, it's a process. The legal establishment is glacially slow, and it's a process, and they don't understand the culture. And so that's why Jehovah's Witnesses play word games and why they only put certain things in print. But yet I mean, like you have to, be a Jehovah Witness to gain salvation. But it's actually not written in the literature that way. I think in an 81 article it says, come to Jehovah's organization for salvation. I think there's one blurb, but they watch what they put in print, and that's why they, shrunk down the elders manual. They're careful what they put in print because
Mhm.
it's going to bite them in court. Well, over time, with more and more testimony and more victims and more investigation, the world, the courts, the governments are going to learn the culture. So when an elder says they're giving encouragement, what a Jehovah Witness understands is you're getting an order.
Correct.
But the world thinks, well, encouragement, that's good. See, they don't understand the culture and the
Well,
redefining of words.
yep. I mean, I've spoken to multiple, I mean, just from going back a few times, I've spoken to many brothers and sisters that now claim that it's not that they're not disfellowshipping people, they just changed the term.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that blew my mind because it's like they're trying to override the system just
yeah.
by changing the words, even though they're still doing the act of disfellowshipping.
Well, and the
Um,
shunning still goes side by side.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's called disassociation, disassociating or something like that.
No, disassociation is when you remove yourself. Disfellowshipping is when they kick you to the curb. But now disfellowshipping is called removal.
Oh, removal. Oh, okay. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
But they're
I,
big with the legalese and word games.
right. But at the end of the day, they're still doing exactly what they've been doing.
Yeah.
Nothing has
And they're
really
just
changed.
trying to hide it from the authorities. But like I say, eventually they're going to get caught. What I would love to see, I'm not big on, Kingdom Hall crashes, car crashes. I don't really like that. It's just
Yeah,
cringy to me. And it's not effective. It just reinforces their victim mentality. But
correct.
what I would love to see is somebody who is being shunned, 5, 10 years, 15, 20 years from their family, right?
Right here.
Go into a Kingdom Hall with a lawyer with them,
Oh,
videotape how their family, hi mom, hi dad, and mom and dad are like, oh, don't,
hmm.
I'm not allowed to talk to you. I want documentation like that brought into court so they
Yeah,
can see
because it's
it
not making
playing out.
sense. Like I did all the work to get reinstated. I showed them. I was shunned for many, many years, and even now they shun in their own way still. Like they treat me the same, like the different. They look at me different. The way they address me, they still view me as this apostate when I've never ever been announced as an apostate. I've never been called that. It's their personal opinions that they're making a firm accusation on. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're trying to make it a fact when it's not a fact, and you're just offended or hurt because I'm actually trying to share with you truth on the very organization that we were raised in, that the lies that they've been telling us our whole life and things like that. So
A
I'm living
person
proof.
can't think rationally when they're terrified. And unfortunately, when they hear the truth, the real truth about the
Hmm.
organization, it instills terror in their heart.
Hmm.
And then they're not able to think. At that point, they shut down and fear takes over and they get into a fetal position and just
Yeah,
refuse to listen.
they don't want to listen. No.
And the term apostate is one of those words that's used to, shut thinking down. Oh, I don't have to
And
listen to
I think
them. They're an apostate.
yeah, I think it's used too loosely because at this
It
point,
is
it's like,
very, yeah.
even if you question the slightest thing, you're considered an apostate now. Like now it makes it seem like you can't question. And that's what when I was speaking with the elders, they kind of mentioned that indirectly. And I said, yeah, well, don't I have a right to question? Doesn't the Bible, didn't Jesus himself say it's important for us to always ask questions? And yet I'm being name called something because I'm questioning and asking for clarification.
Yep.
Yeah, it
Because it
doesn't make
can't give it.
sense.
And that scares them. And once they
Oh
feel
yeah,
that fear, they
you
just
could
shut
definitely.
down.
I could. yeah, I could definitely see in their eyes the fear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a cult. That's
Yeah.
why it makes it not just a religion. They're a satanic cult, and even though the
Exactly.
individual elders are not, they don't know what they're involved in.
Well, it
That's all
was
there is
even
to it.
yeah, it was even the fact that the Bible says to drink of my blood, to, eat of my flesh, right? When you're commemorating Jesus' death, and yet not one of us does that when we're commemorating Jesus' death. So they're prohibiting us from partaking in something that we're supposed to do in order to gain everlasting life, supposedly. And what would be the reason? I mean,
Yeah,
uh,
Yeah.
the
I
no blood, all of that, like I could go on, like
Oh, me too. I could go on all day.
like
I think the people at the top, and I'll put the link to this video. I did a podcast with this other XJW from London about this subject, and I think at the top, the people who are making these decisions, I think it's a satanic ritual where
yeah,
you're rejecting Christ. That's
I
why,
I agree.
Like a
I
black
agree.
mass.
yeah,
Correct.
because why does everybody have to touch the glass? Because all it makes sense is very simple. If you know that nobody there is going to partake except the one congregation has got one guy comes of the anointed, which is
Thank
very rare,
you.
why not just have the bread and the wine on the table in the front of the
Yeah,
Kingdom Hall? Just leave it there and say, hey,
that's a
if
good
you are of
point.
the anointed, go up and grab. If you're
That's a
not,
good point.
but so why do they go through the whole charade of making sure that every single person has to touch it to reject it? Because they give it to you, and it's kind of like you're saying, "Oh, I don't want it. You take it." Next guy says, "Oh no, I don't want it. You take it. You take it."
Correct. So you're indirectly consenting to not partaking.
You're rejecting Christ.
You're rejecting it, correct. And they have to give it to you in order for you to reject it. Otherwise, they can't take that as a rejection.
So one more thing I want to touch on is that again, I don't trust all the actual numbers because like again I've seen my numbers drop down, so I know I have more views than even what the statistics are saying. But I want to just mention some of these different countries because it goes to what I've been saying when I've been saying like I do get emails from people from other countries all the time. But it looks like the United Kingdom is the second country that watches my channel the most. And then Canada, Australia, South America, Germany, Netherlands, New Zealand, France, Sweden, Poland, Italy, Norway, Philippines, Mexico, Trinidad, Finland, Austria, Brazil, Spain, Turkey, Belgium, Denmark, Japan, Jamaica, and Ireland, Nigeria, Hungary, and it just goes on. So like, and even
Mhm.
even even if the numbers are somewhat accurate on some of these smaller countries, even those small numbers are important to me, right?
Yeah.
So if like the last one says Mongolia, like okay, 11 people watched my video from there. Well, maybe those 11 people, maybe I've changed their life with the
Yeah.
the concert or something like that. So I get a lot of people all over the world that again they send me emails, so it's backed up by the fact of it showing I am getting views from all these other countries. But how am I getting views when I have such a tiny channel according to YouTube? Like I'm getting like 1,000 views per video, and some videos even lower than that. I mean, I average probably 2,000 views. Some I've done a lot better in, but I have such a small channel, so to me it's inconsistent that I'm having people contact me all the time from other countries. I got, I think, up to 14,000 hype points on that video now where it stands.
Mm.
But then I only have 2,800 subscribers and it keeps going down and up and down.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Well, yeah, because just like the laws of averages is like if people all over the world are finding my videos, I would have to, I think, be getting more closer to 10,000 views per video for it just to trickle down that way because I don't even know people who know people in these countries, most of them.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and then now though, after I got the hype points, that I'm getting all these cool hype points, now apparently I am under 18 years old. So I can't even buy a pack of cigarettes. Not that I smoke, but I can't even buy a pack of cigarettes, according to YouTube.
And this is currently,
This just happened. Yeah, like last weekend this
And
happened.
that's not something you're able to change. It's
I
something they have to change.
They have to change. They've changed the settings, and when I looked it up, it said the only way that I can dispute it, and then I got to prove I'm over 18 years old now. But I'm going to still go through the shenanigans because I'm not going to just stop. But they already have it, and so when I wrote YouTube, that's what I told them. I said, "You already have my information because I'm monetized. You got my social security number. You send me a
Yeah, so make it make
1099.
sense.
Yeah, you got my bank account. They got, they're hooked up to my bank account, so like they know exactly who I am. And now suddenly I'm under 18 years old. I've been doing this channel for over 2 years now, but now I'm under 18 years old. Not even 21. They at least could have like, you know,
Right.
gave me a couple extra years, but
They want to make
18,
sure that you're not being watched at all.
yeah, yeah, like I'm still in high school basically. Under 18 years old, maybe even junior high. They got me in the 10th grade, 11th grade. But those who I know who are awake, I know can see this is that it actually builds my credibility because they're not going to come after me with all these different ways unless I'm saying something that's so true that they are afraid that I do have information that would shut these people down, and that's what scares them. Um,
Yep.
and I've had people wake up from my channel. I've had people send me personal messages, like emails, and they would actually say like it was because of my channel. They specifically say when I came across your channel and started watching it, then it's like I knew it was a fake religion. And one message I'll never forget, it was a mother and daughter. And they said, "Oh, me and my mom, we wrote our disassociated letters today after we binge watched your channel." Like
Oh, wow.
so
Wait,
I
so people are actually writing. I have not written the letter yet, but it's interesting to see that people are actually writing their disassociative letters to the organization.
the
Yeah.
reason that you may want to do it is, and this is just my opinion, it's my belief,
Yeah,
I could be wrong, but understanding the satanic element of Watchtower at the top. It's sort of like
correct.
rejecting the Christ by pushing the bread away. The
Yeah,
way they do these things, that when you get baptized as Jehovah's Witness, the way they word the question is you're not dedicating yourself to Jehovah, you're dedicating yourself to the organization. I mean, I don't know if they change
correct.
it because they change it so many times anyway. Who knows what they say now? But when I got baptized, it was, do I recognize and accept something about Jehovah's organization or some crap like that?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
so the way these occult people think is they
Oh
think
my
they
God,
own
you're
you.
giving me chills right now. Sorry.
Well, that's a good follow those chills because that's meaning that to pay
Your
attention to what I'm
intuition is
saying. Yeah.
talking to you.
Oh my
Yep.
goodness. Something has been telling me to write that letter
Mhm.
and something doesn't let me write it. I don't
Keep
know
in mind,
why.
I was disfellowshipped and I still wrote one because I wanted to be the one to sever the tie because the tie is still there.
You're
I'm
right.
still,
You're right.
in their opinion, their property, even though they kicked me to the curb, I still felt compelled to
Yeah,
write a
because
letter.
it's almost as if the baptism, this is their it's spiritual control over you, so to say.
Yes.
And when you write that disassociation, it's almost like you're taking that spiritual control over you. And maybe that's actually something I need to do.
Yeah.
That's what it is
Um,
because the way that these Satanists think, like the ones at the top, is they believe in like spiritual laws.
correct.
So again, if you go back to like the push of a vaccine,
Yes.
they didn't clearly say you have to do it. The governing body was very careful how they worded it because they want to they can't take away your free will the way these people think. So like by manipulating you, they made the witnesses feel they were told, but they technically didn't make them do it. They were very careful how they worded it. Now the individual congregations they went haywire, and some elders were like, oh, you got to take it, but they're careful because they don't want to violate these spiritual laws that they believe in. So when you get baptized in an organization, they believe they energetically own you. If you end up dying because of blood or something like that, they may still feel like, oh, it's a blood sacrifice or something to that. So they still feel that they own you.
Yeah.
And
I ripped up those blood cards for my children and myself. I ripped it all up. And
so
I completely gave the proxy. I made a new proxy, like, or hospitals have their own proxy you can make.
Yeah.
And I changed it all. Changed it all.
yeah, so like it's good because it also like even though I don't believe in the Bible, I do believe in like demons and evil spirits, and I do think that you also have a spiritual warfare, and you have demons and these dark energies that are behind Watchtower. So
Correct.
I
Yeah.
think that like if you don't write the letter, I think that they still have access to mess around with your life because you still belong to them. You dedicate yourself to them.
That
So I
makes
think
sense though. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for bringing that up. That's I guess that's something I needed to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you'll feel it. I don't know how sensitive you are to your own personal energy, but
I
you
am.
will feel
I've
it.
been feeling it for a while, and like I don't know, like something is not letting me do it. And now that I'm hearing, I think it's just what you're saying and how you're saying it, and it makes sense. Like I think I'm a person that it needs to compute the right way here for me
Yes.
to really understand the severity of the situation and like what power it can have over you. Yeah.
let me tell you quick about my experience with my letter. So again, my ex-wife tried to push it and push it, don't do it, don't do it. And I delayed it for about maybe 2 months before I finally said, no, I'm not playing this game. But anyway, so when I got the letter, what I did was I emailed it and texted it to people in the congregation who I respected, and I wanted them to hear it from me, directly from me, not from the platform. I want to be very clear. And I made the elders wait last. So after I sent it to everybody who I wanted to read it for me, I then decided to physically mail it to the local elders, right? So I really made them wait. Like, so by the time they got it, the whole congregation already knew why I was leaving. And it was very clear, I'm not this fellowship, I'm leaving. I want nothing to do with you people. So anyway,
Hmm.
so the official letter that I printed out and I was gonna physically mail it to the Kingdom Hall. So I went to the post office to mail it out, and I was very disappointed because it was some sort of like federal holiday and the post office was closed, and I was so bummed out because like I wanted to get it done. Like I'm here, I want to get it done. And the problem is it was closed and I didn't have any stamps. So I'm like, what am I gonna do? I can't just put it in the Dropbox as I have a stamp. So this woman showed up because she was dropping something off at the post office. And she told me, oh, it's a federal holiday. Like she's the one that explained to me why it was closed. And she said, oh, do you need a stamp? I said, oh, yeah, that would be great. And she gave me a stamp, and she was very nice and friendly. And
Hmm.
something about that experience, it's like she was so nice and friendly, and she didn't know me, and she just gave me a stamp. And I said, oh, well, let me pay you for it. She insisted, no, 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 don't pay me. And I tried to beg her to take something for her. I'm like, well, just buy yourself a coffee.
Wow,
But
oh my gosh.
but she was so nice. It was like a wake up call because these are the people that we were told have no morals,
Yep.
that are worldly. And to be honest, worldly is like the
Oh,
N word. It's the N word
and
for JWs. It's a very negative
yeah.
thing to be called worldly. So,
Hmm.
but anyway, so I got the stamp from her, and I swear, as soon as I put this letter in the mailbox and I dropped it in the Dropbox, no lie, the sun came out bright over me. Like the sun just shined
Yeah,
out of
yeah, yeah.
nowhere. And I felt like this cloud of negativity lift for me.
Wow.
And that's where I felt like I truly believe for me, at least I can say it was something energetic. And when I put that official letter in the mailbox, I felt it lift. Along with the very nice woman who I could see, you know what, these worldly people are pretty nice. It's witnesses that are the assholes, to be honest. They're the
Hmm.
biggest gossipers and two-faced
Oh,
people that exist.
and you know what? The crazy thing is they say that we're like people outside the organization are demonic, but when you start telling them the truth to their face, this demon comes out of them. And it's
Yes.
insane how demonic their reaction is. It's like
Yes.
it's not my relative no more. That's not them. Like it's something
Yeah.
else.
I've seen it.
Absolutely.
I've seen it, and I think we're all talking about the same thing. It has to be like a demonic spirit because so before I even talked to my wife when I first like was officially like 100% Peebo. So there's
Hmm.
three people I tried to talk to. And first was this older sister with like a mother figure, and she was into conspiracy and stuff like that. So I thought I could trust her. Like, well, if anybody's gonna listen, she'll listen because she knows about the New World Order and all this stuff. So as soon as I tried to show her something, her eyes got like real big, and she's like, that's dangerous. Like, and like she had this weird voice, like right away, like it was like her whole tune changed. And then
Yeah.
she practically called me an apostate. And
Yeah.
I simply just raised a question. I said, like, did you know that we were part of the United Nations? And then I asked her about the Denmark Assembly Hall. And
Yep.
like, and already I was an apostate. I'm like, I'm just asking. So then I went to this older brother. He was like 60 years old, who was one of my good friends, I thought. And I went to try to say something to him. I swear it sounded like the same voice. The eyes got big, like he's like, that's
Right?
dangerous. That's dangerous. You shouldn't be looking at that. So I'm like, oh, okay. And I didn't go anywhere with them. Then when I finally mentioned it to my wife, same thing. I swear it's like the same, just like you described King Tony's. Like it's literally like you're looking at an entity inside of them. Like they're
Yeah. And you
like
can even see in their eyes, it changes. It's not their eyes anymore.
mm,
It's like really dark and almost black.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that I had to learn that, right? So there's good spirits, there's bad spirits. The bad spirits are called demons. The good spirits are called what? Angels. So when Moses was doing his miracles and all those plagues were happening, that's good magic. That's because it's coming from God. So why are they so adamant about, oh, magic is bad when really there's good and there's bad? I don't understand that.
That goes
They
into
make
like the understanding the workings of the universe. And I think that like Carol's more on board with some of the stuff that I believe where the whole idea of the paradise, the fact is it's a false, there would never be a paradise because the whole world works in duality. It's good and evil. Everything is
Mhm.
opposites. The
Yeah,
perfect shower is not all the way hot or all the way cold. It's a balance between hot
correct.
and
Correct.
everything works in dualities. So
Yes.
there will never be perfection because you need that. And plus, when you go through say tough times, that's how you grow. That's how
Yeah,
you
but I
become more
believe your
mature.
paradise is more so an inner peace that you create within yourself.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah,
exactly what
like
it
Absolutely.
is.
yeah. I
And this
don't
life was just meant to be an experience. We all have that spark of source in us. That's the
hmm
consciousness that created everything, right? And so,
Yeah.
in order for that consciousness to have experience, we are like emissaries to bring those experiences to the universal conscience anyway, consciousness. That's it.
Yeah.
And good, bad, and different. And now I'm always in flux with my beliefs because I just take in all this information and I pick and choose, and then I research a little of this and a little of that. And
Yeah.
one thing I find interesting is that there is this belief that I kind of subscribe to, that people say, well, we have free will. Well, yeah, we do, but the free will was before we came here. We planned out what our life was going to be, what experiences we were going to have, whether or not we were going to be shot in front of a crowd, you know, um, speaking, and
hmm
trying to create a dialogue like Charlie Kirk, or, or if we're going to, commit suicide. I mean, that's an experience,
hmm
that we have worked out. Or we're going to be abused, or we're going to starve, or whatever. We have worked this out prior to our arrival here. This will be our experience, and this is how I'm going to go. This is how I'm going to die. What everything's been planned out. So that's where the free will is. We're not aware of it in the 3D,
Have you
but
ever heard of deja vu?
Yeah,
Um,
I
I I don't know, something with the whole deja vu
mm-hmm.
makes me feel like it's almost as if we lived this before in a different lifetime kind of thing.
Yeah, and that lends itself to that too, that we had other lifetimes.
say I might have to have you back on, Carol. You too, King Tony. Maybe like we'll have another
Yes,
discussion
A
on that
powwow.
topic because no, because that
that's
will
so interesting.
this will lead to like a whole another like couple of hours of stuff. And
Yeah.
but maybe that's what we should do is have a video where we openly discuss these things because I'll be honest, like I got attacked a couple of times. I won't mention a name, but there was one of my supporters who even did a video with me, and once told her like I was looking into like astrology and things like that, she completely turned on me. She was like, I'm a hypocrite and I'm exposing the stuff I expose Watchtower is the same stuff that I'm into. And she completely kind of
Wow.
misunderstood my channel because I don't claim to be Christian. And what I expose is Watchtower being hypocrite. So like when their logo came from the tarot card called the Tower, I'm exposing why are they using something that they're against that they say is demonic. I'm not saying that
No, it's
I would
more so
not.
the fact that
Yeah,
they're using things that are
yeah,
spiritual and they're
yeah,
just turning it, right? Like you said, but that
yeah,
doesn't mean that where it's originating from is the bad source. They're just
exactly.
making
Yeah.
it bad.
So like when I told her like, yeah, I've had a tarot reading, I looked into that. I'm going to be honest. After I was brainwashed by the Bible for so long, I gave myself permission to look into anything I want to look into. I'm not going to look into
Yep.
something that's straight satanic. That's obviously like I'm not going to go to the Church of Satan, but all this other stuff, I will look into it myself. And when I've looked at things like astrology and tarot reading and things like that, I look at it as going back to understanding the universe. You have good and bad.
Correct.
You got
Correct.
Abs-
some you got
Yep.
some tarot
Absolutely.
readers who maybe are channeling demons and you're going to get a
Yep.
dark energy. And then you got some that are channeling the light. So I think you got good and evil and everything. That's just
Oh,
my take on it.
100%. Yeah. I would love to have come back and do an interview on those things. But I'm definitely gonna do research, and if
Mm.
you can pass that information to Quinn and he can share that with me, or we could also exchange contact info and all that.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah, definitely contact info.
I want to give a shout out to Christy Ann. The reason I'm mentioning Christy Ann is because she's been with me since the beginning. On the very first video I've ever done, she's always commented on my videos. And the really weird thing is that in 2 years, besides recently, I'll get into recently in a minute, but in 2 years, she's never replied back to me. And every comment she's ever made says edit it. So it's like she makes a comment, and I don't know if she's editing it, but every comment would always say edit. And then I
mm,
would always reply, and I would never get a response back. So at first I just thought, okay, maybe she just doesn't comment back to people. That's fine. But then what was really strange is that I started noticing on a video that I post, she'll make a comment towards me. She'll even mention my name. Other people will comment, reply to her comment on my channel. She'll reply back to everybody else except me. And I'm like, that
mm,
just doesn't make any sense, right? Like, so I think what's happening is that she's not seeing my replies. Like something fishy is going on. Like I think whatever force is manipulating my channel, they don't want me connecting with her. And
Hmm.
and one thing I want to say, because I'm pretty sure she's going to see this video, is that I was excited when I got a comment from her the first time because she's one of the channels that I've seen that was going into dark stuff with Watchtower, like thinking outside the
Yes.
box. So,
Yeah,
like,
they don't want you communicating.
yeah. So I think
that's
it has
interesting.
something to
I've
do with
never
that.
heard of Christy Ann before, so if you can pass over her channel, that'd be great.
Oh, I will. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll put it on the screen too when I do the editing. But anyway, so recently, she's been commenting on like every video that I posted. So, I finally got one response back from her after 2 years. But then she said too that maybe her comments are disappearing or she's not getting my replies. So I
Mm,
think basically it's some sort of manipulation. Um,
yeah.
so I just want to say if Christiane's watching this, I pretty much replied back to every comment you posted, and I think that she's not getting notification or knowing that I've tried to reply. But anyway, if you're watching this, Christiane, you actually helped inspire my channel, so I appreciate that. And I'm sure that whoever's manipulating my channel, like King Tony said, and Carol, they don't want us probably joining forces because yeah. Um, and
Well,
then
one day we'll make that happen.
oh, I
One
will.
day we gotta get you and Christy together
Yeah.
and like have
Oh,
that.
that would be epic.
Yeah.
That would be
Well,
an
you see, it's kind of hard to now block it now because I'm calling it out. And see, that's what I do. I call things out like this. So now the whole world knows that she's been commenting on my video since the very beginning, and my replies are being blocked from her end, or she's not seeing them, or something weird is going on. Um, Another thing I wanted to mention too is I'm going to say this, and I know if John's watching this, John's going to be upset with me about this, but I have to just be honest. The video that kept messing up, I'm not going to post it because one, there was too many interruptions. A lot of the important stuff he said was being like blocked. And then with this recent attack that now they're saying my channel was like I'm 18 years old. I don't want to put a video like what he's talking about, knowing YouTube is going to deliberately send it to children. Like, I don't want to do that. And I could record the video with him again, but we already did it twice. And I think that the stuff that he wants to expose and get into, like some of the really dark stuff, I don't want it to go too far beyond what my channel's about because my main focus is to try to um get the attention of XJWs and Jehovah's Witnesses and help wake them up out of Watchtower. So if I go too far in the other direction, then like some of the stuff that was being talked about is going to make my channel more of a conspiracy channel, and that's going to just lose the purpose of my channel. Um, so because of the interruptions, and now again they're saying that I'm 18 years old, and he answered the question about why he says the organization allows pedophiles and stuff like that, like the dark. So I'm not going to
Mhm.
post that. So I just want to say it's not on John's end. I don't want anyone to think that he backed out of it. We recorded the video. We had issues with it, and I think it's just best that he posts that on his friend Trina's channel, which he said he was going to start posting on her channel because her channel is not flagged. She's not 18 years old. Apparently, I'm only 17 years old. If you guys didn't know, um,
If
but
only, right?
yeah, Trina's an adult, so she's not flagged. He can put it on her channel, his what he wants to say and his documents and stuff that he has. But and sometimes I look at this as stuff from the universe too, because like I'm recording this video with you two, and both of you are on, like we're on camera, it's not messing up. When I was with him, every time he spoke, it was like, and I'll show you an example of it. I asked for like, you know what, maybe it's I'm not supposed to do this, and I need to take my channel away
Yeah,
from that
I get that
direction.
feeling.
Yeah. And I want to steer it back towards like stuff really centered of Jehovah's Witnesses and XJWs.
Mhm.
All that conspiracy stuff, there are experts out there, so that's information is available, but this I don't want my channel to turn into specifically that kind of stuff. If that
Mhm.
makes sense. But I just wanted to explain
Well,
that
stick with
honestly
what
about it.
you know best, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
Well, I think that wraps it up
Hopefully
though.
there's no hard feelings.
He might be a little irritated, but I'm going to
Well,
talk to
I'm
him
a
more
little
personal
saddened
about it.
by it, but if it's going to be on Trina's channel, then
Yeah,
I'll go watch it over there. I'm good with that.
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't mind watching it over
Mm,
there either.
Yeah, I like John. I like him a
mm,
lot. He's got kahunas.
yeah.
Well,
I have to say.
these are a lot of people that I've actually never heard or seen
Mm.
their feeds before. So I mean, I would love to be able to see it. So if you guys could share all that, that would be great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it is like I also know that like the average Jehovah's Witnesses that I'm waking up, and even XJW, some of that stuff is just too extreme. I think for and I don't want to scare off people who I am helping who say, hey, because of your videos, I woke up from Jehovah's Witnesses. Because
Hmm.
some of these other theories that sound so crazy but are believable. Like I think I mentioned you, King Tony, a little bit about the gate program. That's one of the things we talked about.
Oh
Like,
man, you blew
but
me away. I mean, it's
yeah,
honestly not surprising, but
mm,
yeah. Thanks for
yeah.
letting me know that.
Well, that's
Thank
what
you.
I'm saying. And not everybody can necessarily handle that. So, but again, I did try to record the video. We recorded it once. It didn't record. We started over a second time. His voice kept getting messed up. Um, and I would probably have to edit a good portion of it out because when he's just like and it's like all choppy, you can't even really hear what he's saying. And I'm not going to record it a third time. Um, but anyway, thank you all for well, I don't mean all, just it's only two of you here. But
Yeah.
thank both of you for coming on and helping me also explain that me saying my channel is being manipulated. It's not just me. You're seeing it on your end, and It's
Mhm.
things that have to be some sort of a serious hack, somebody who has power and control that really has a problem with my information. But as you can see, my videos are still up. YouTube's not banning them. That same video that you couldn't share, it's on YouTube, is not banned from the country. Like, so why
Mhm.
can't I share a video? It doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense. And it also is obviously I'm not 17 years old. Like that's common sense. So why now? When they already have all my tax information and 1099 they send me, they got my bank account, right? They already
Yeah.
verified my identity when I monetized my channel 2 years ago. So it doesn't make any sense. Um,
Mhm.
but anyway, so thank you both. And I'm gonna put up Carol's links because she did a couple interviews on a couple of channels. So people who want to hear her story, I put up
Yes.
her links. And King Tony, she may pop in on Ruby's show, so that's just a place that you can find her there. And we will come back and have a video, particularly about the spiritual issues, and that will be a very interesting video to do.
Yeah. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Gwen, for having me, and I appreciate it. And of course, whenever you need anything, I am here for you, okay? It was
Appreciate it.
lovely meeting you, Carol.
Great meeting you too. I'm anxious to speak to you again. We'll get in touch.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. Sounds good.